Hello, this is Alex from PHP Academy, and this is another PHP video tutorial for the new Boston. Now in this tutorial I'm going to be talking about embedding PHP inside HTML. Now you obviously probably all know what embedding is. It's just putting something within something, embedding it inside. So if I was to set up my PHP document, and let's just use the example of, let's say, outputting hello world. Now if we come into our browser and refresh this, we can see that we produced with the text hello world. This is a pretty standard example and nothing's changed since my more basic tutorials. So how about if we want to, let's say, actually embed some text inside, for example, an input text box. Now I'm going to get rid of this and I'm going to start typing an input tag, and I'm going to give it the type of text, and we'll just say the value of hello. So what this is going to produce, I'm not using any HTML tags just to keep things simple. Obviously you would set your page out properly. This example will produce a small text box with the text hello, which obviously is editable, so we can do what we want with it. Let's go back into this. So how about if I wanted to take a variable in PHP and just pop it into here, which later on in programming you will want to do, because you'll want to, say, dynamically update forms, and this is a great example to show you of how to take variables within PHP and put them straight into forms. So let's have our PHP tags at the top of the page. Now already what we're doing is we're combining PHP with HTML inside the same document. We're still using the PHP extension for our file. However, we can just plainly echo out HTML, as you've already seen, or not echo out, but display HTML. Now inside PHP up here, I'm just going to create a new variable called text. Remember, using the $sign and then our variable name, and we're going to make that equal to hello world. Now let's just say this was something that the user may have submitted, or that something's in a database, or something a bit more useful than some static text that we've just declared up here. Now what happens if I want to pop this value of this variable inside here? Now you basically simply have to start up a PHP tag. You can end your PHP tag just so you're ready to fill in your content, and all you need to do is you need to echo out the variable, remembering your line terminator. Because PHP code is processed on a one-line basis, it doesn't incorporate different lines necessarily when it's processed as a whole. So by doing this all in one line, you're still producing the same effect as if you were to do this. It would work in exactly the same way. So we can in fact just pull all this in, so it's all on one line, and it just looks a lot neater as well. So now what we do is when we refresh the page, we have the contents of that variable embedded, if you like, into our HTML page. So these are the basics of embedding PHP inside HTML. Hello, this is Alex from phpacademy.org, and this is a video tutorial for the new Boston. Now in this tutorial we're going to be covering comments inside PHP. Now if you've programmed before in any other language, you'll understand how important commenting your code is. This could be in large chunks, or commenting single lines just to show yourself and other programmers what the program does, and maybe just add notes for copyright reasons or anything else. Now I've created this extremely simple and basic PHP script, which basically just outputs hello world to the browser. Now obviously us looking at this, we know exactly what it does, but for the purpose of this tutorial I'm going to be commenting it just to let anyone else that's looking at it understand what's going on. So the first type of commenting is just single line commenting. So what I've done is I've pulled this down a bit, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 forward slashes. Now you can see that as I type text, my text editor's changed this to italics and it's turned grey. Now this is just a standard notation for my text editor to show me a comment. This just makes sure it doesn't interfere with the readability of the code. So you'll probably find that whatever text editor you're doing that, unless you're using something basic like Notepad, it's not going to show you. But in this case it does. So I'm going to comment uses echo language construct to output the text hello world to the browser. So that's a simple comment that shows anyone that's watching this what this does. Now what we can also do is we can add comments directly after lines, as long as they're not obviously before anything important like this code. So for example, if I was to put 2 forward slashes, this is automatically now commented out and that line of code won't run. But this is also useful if you were to run through a program and you're debugging it. You could just quickly put some forward slashes and test different parts of your code and remove parts of your code that you didn't want to run. Now let's say I want to add up here a little bit of information about this page, who it's created by and the date. So I want to create a long sort of paragraph, or a short paragraph in this case, of just text explaining about the program. Now to do this I'm going to use a forward slash and then an asterisk. I'm going to come down a few lines and I'm going to type another asterisk and then another forward slash. Now you could see then, just while I was typing that, this text down here was going grey. Now that I've ended that, everything inside here is going to be regarded as a comment. So you can see that this is a lot easier than doing this for several lines, because you may want several lines to write on each line, but obviously the easier way would be to use this notation. So now what we can do is we can write some information inside here. So we could just pop the date in, and that's just a better way, and it looks neater as well. Obviously you could bring, say, this up here if you really wanted to. It's entirely up to you, but anything between this and this is going to be regarded as a comment system, and these are one-line comment systems, or comments, which can be placed either above, below, or after a line, but obviously not before, because that's going to render your code unreadable by PHP. So that's commenting in PHP.